Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Some of the SEC's evidence, and I use that term loosely, against Ripple has been revealed to the public. And it's been shared widely on social media. Here's an article from Finance Feeds covering some of what was discussed. Attorney Jeremy Hogan from the very popular YouTube channel Legal Briefs has covered this information already. And so I want to do a couple things here. I did check out Attorney Jeremy Hogan's most recent video where he's going through some of the evidence, and I'm not going to rehash what he had to say about this. I have additional comments to add on. I want to share my perspective on just how weak sauce the SEC's evidence is against Ripple, just from the layperson's perspective. Because most of you listening, you're like me, you don't have a legal background. And I still think that a person who is unbiased and has at least half of a brain will come to the same conclusion that we are, which is that these arguments don't make any damn sense. Or at the bare minimum, they are not strong. They are weak sauce. So plenty to discuss here. And there actually are comments, emails from Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, co-founder of Ripple, Chris Larsen. And I even have something from David Schwartz, who is Ripple's CTO currently and co-creator of the XRP ledger. I've got a comment from him on an old Bitcoin forum on a topic that's highly relevant to this. And it's a David Schwartz comment from the year 2013. Ripple was just a little baby company. I'll have to look at the month that it was posted, but Ripple may have not even been a year old at that point. So anyway, plenty to discuss. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And also, shout out to James Filan, who is an attorney within the XRP community, who is very diligent in sharing all sorts of legal documents having to do with this case. He just does it out of the kindness of his heart. And so I just always want to give credit where it's due, because this is being widely circulated. When he puts documents out, widely circulated throughout the XRP community. So shout out to Mr. Filan for doing that for everybody in the community. So let's start here. There was this email from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He was writing to the team, and so just Ripple. This is two Ripple employees, and it was June 4th of 2017, and so here's the portion that Attorney Jeremy Hogan found to be most relevant. It's right here, so I'll just read it for you. It's right where I'm waving the mouse on the screen here. It's the 5th paragraph down. Despite a proven track record of being good stewards of XRP, we had continued to hear concerns in the market that Ripple could, hypothetically, sell our 61 billion XRP at any time, a scenario that would certainly be bad for Ripple. So, with the decision to lock up 55 billion XRP in escrow, we have given investors a predictable supply schedule and removed what skeptics have suggested has been a barrier to broad XRP adoption. Suffice it to say, the XRP ecosystem responded very positively to the news. So look here, and look, and again, all of what's being discussed here, this is what the SEC believes is evidence that proves that Ripple has sold XRP as a security. So that's what's at the heart of the matter. They believe that the content in all the emails that I'm sharing with you in this video, it's evidence that XRP was sold by Ripple as an unregistered security. And so, look, Brad's email here, it used the word investors, which is bad, apparently, but here's the thing. Like, he used that term as a layperson. He wasn't thinking about the legal ramifications, and so he just as easily could have used the term holder instead of investor, and most people who have ever bought XRP would understand that people in crypto use those words interchangeably. And so, in my humble opinion, what matters is the concept that Brad is attempting to convey in the email, but I can't speak to the implications of this from a legal perspective. But again, to me, just as a 38-year-old man, having lived life, like, what I care about is the idea somebody's trying to get across, and humans frequently use words that aren't the best word to describe what the idea they're trying to get across. Human communication can be difficult and sloppy, and so what I'm focusing on is the idea that he's trying to get across. He could have just as easily used the term holders, but there seems to be some sort of legal implication by using the word investor, which is not what Brad Garlinghouse is trying to get at. You know, he has used these words interchangeably, actually, so it just doesn't make sense to me, just as a lay person here. But, you know, second, although Ripple did lock up over 50 billion XRP, this is not them admitting that they're controlling or attempting to control the price of XRP. And this is important because if they're controlling, and especially if they're attempting to control and succeeding the price of XRP, that's additional proof that Ripple's in charge and that XRP is indeed an unregistered security. But this is not them admitting that they're controlling or attempting to control XRP price. This is Ripple acknowledging there were bogus claims for XRP haters, from XRP haters, who stated that Ripple could control price, and Ripple was simply trying to take that argument away from the haters. They would have sold the same amount of XRP over the years, regardless of whether or not the bulk of their holdings were in escrow. Want proof? Well, look at what Ripple does with each escrow release every single month. The strong majority of each escrow release of XRP, it goes into a new escrow and is not sold. And every time this happens, again, it's not impacting the global price of XRP, and that is provably the case. Now take a look, and take a look at this. Actually, this is a good time to bring up this from David Schwartz, and this was shared by Tag XRP within the XRP community. So shout out to Tag XRP for sharing this. And so this is from May 12th, 2013. So Ripple had been around for all of like 9 or 10 months at this point. And by the way, they were called OpenCoin back then, which is a name that David Schwartz references here. And so this is from May 12th of 2013. In fact, XRP hadn't even been in existence for a year. It was XRP itself was created in June of 2012, if I'm not mistaken, beginning portion of June. But anyway, here's what David Schwartz had to say, and this is relevant too. I don't think that the SEC would like this, but this was stated publicly also. I think we've been pretty clear that we are not that we are not making any promises to manage XRP as a currency with any particular target value. The XRP that OpenCoin holds will be given away as OpenCoin thinks is appropriate to drive adoption, or sold as OpenCoin thinks is appropriate for its financial needs and interests. We absolutely make no promises or representations about the value of XRP to the world in general. Now notice that the SEC didn't include that in their evidence, did they? Because all it does is shoot their narrative in the foot that Ripple's attempting to control the price of XRP and that they actually think that they can. It's not useful for them. So how about that? Is that a surprise? And then there was this. There's this email thread between Chris Larsen, co-founder of Ripple, and an individual named Carlos, who was an early purchaser. Can I use that word? Am I allowed to say investor? Because as a layperson, whether you say purchaser, investor, or holder, to me it all means the same thing. And again, I still think that's how Brad Garlinghouse was using the word investor, purchaser, holder, whatever. But anyway, so there's the purchaser, Carlos, who spent, I think he said 30,000 euros purchasing XRP back in 2014. And so he had held XRP for a few years at that point. And a couple of things I want to highlight. Where did the document go? I thought I printed up something. Maybe I could just find it here anyway. I printed up something and now it's not. Oh, here it is. There we go. Okay, we're good. I wanted to show you guys this. So, sorry, one sec here. There was a part, and I'm going to scroll on the screen so for those of you that are looking at the screen, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about here. Let me go to the tail end. So there are a few things that I wanted to highlight. And so, admittedly, this individual Carlos, he did seem to think that initially, at least when he purchased, that Ripple's activities within the XRP ecosystem should have had some sort of impact on the price of XRP. But then he's begrudging the fact that all of the developments basically weren't having an impact on the price of XRP. So even this individual investor is like, or purchaser or holder, whatever you want to call them, they discovered that whatever Ripple did, it didn't matter for the price of XRP. This person discovered Ripple can't control the price of XRP. And so there are a couple of things here. It was down here. I can't highlight this. This is a PDF, so it looks like it was scanned, so I can't actually highlight the text, or I guess I'd do it for you here. But it was this part right here that starts with the word "but," where my cursor is. So here's the part. But would have thought that in 2017, XRP would have a new and strong bottom around 2 to 3 cents. It didn't, and now, after all the work, still anyone can invest at very cheap price. And so this email was sent February of 2017, before XRP ran up. It was probably hovering around half a penny. And so he was thinking that it would have been worth 2 or 3 cents by then, but it wasn't. Despite all these developments with Ripple, it's still about half a penny. He can't believe it, and he's frustrated. He's been holding for years, and he's thinking about selling it, by the way, which is, you know, branch off and have a whole separate fun conversation about that, which I won't get into for this video. But he's just begrudging the fact that it's just not working. You know, it's just not working out here. And then there's also this in a separate email from him. This was also February of 2017. Let me scroll up a little bit higher. It's closer to the top here. Hi, Mr. Larsen. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Right, look. You can look right where my cursor is, right here, for those of you looking at the screen. Carlos wrote the following. This is February 18th, 2017. I know that it's a free market and you guys don't control the price, and if someone wants to sell, there is nothing you can do about it. Well, how about that? I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. Let's get to the real fun part, though. Let's get to the really, really fun part here. Let's get to what Chris Larsen had to say, and this is the part that Attorney Jeremy Hogan thought was perhaps the most damning and the most beneficial for the SEC, and I want to talk about this. There is a portion right here where my cursor is, which reads as follows. The more banks that connect through Ripple, Ripple Connect and Interledger Protocol, which is ILP for short, the more demand we should see for XRP as an asset to reduce liquidity costs. And there you go. That sounds damning, doesn't it? You know, a co-founder of Ripple saying that they want to increase demand for XRP? Well, of course, that doesn't mean that he's talking specifically about price. There's nothing in there specifically about price to this investor, Carlos. Let me share with you a few things here. Look, again, this is the SEC thinking that this is evidence that Ripple is seeking to control price, and that they actually control price. But this evidence is absolutely, completely weak sauce, in my opinion. Again, I can't speak to the strength of this evidence from a legal perspective, but I think a regular, unbiased person would come to the same conclusion as me. The truth is that in a mature market, all developers building on top of any blockchain will have an impact on that ecosystem, for better or worse, and to varying degrees. As a result, this can positively or negatively impact the price of the cryptocurrency attached to a blockchain over time. Yes, even in a decentralized ecosystem. All participants and developers impact the open market price of a cryptocurrency to some degree. And by the way, sometimes it's to such a small degree, and other factors matter more. It could be such a small degree that you can't even really measure it, but every participant matters. If I sell 5 XRP, that has an impact. You just can't measure it because it's so incredibly tiny. But what I'm saying is every transaction builds up into something that results in the open market price. It all matters in that sense. But and so anyway, all participants and developers, they impact the open market price of cryptocurrency to some degree. But or at least that's what would happen in a mature market. But crypto is not a mature market. It's basically an infant, right? Crypto is basically an infant at this point. It's such early days, even in 2022. Now, as a result, it's provably the case that XRP's price moves are not in tandem with Ripple developments. It's provably the case, but instead with the rest of the crypto market. And so even if Chris thought he could control the price of XRP along with the rest of the staff at Team Ripple, the data shows that they could not do so. That was not their goal, but if it was, then they failed. And consider this, because again, in this email that I'm highlighting, again, it states, the more demand we should see, let me just read that. Here we go. The more banks that connect through Ripple Connect and Interledger Protocol, the more demand we should see for XRP as an asset to reduce liquidity costs. Let me bring up a very important point here. Ripple has publicly been saying their goal is to increase demand for XRP as a bridge currency via on-demand liquidity for financial institutions for the better part of a decade. They've been publicly saying that. This is not some sort of secret. You don't need to bust out the email from Carlos to hear Brad Garlinghouse publicly state that they're driving demand for their on-demand liquidity product which utilizes XRP as a bridge currency, and none of that has anything to do specifically with the promise or expectation of XRP price action. They're talking about demand in terms of usage of XRP, not in terms of price for XRP. This evidence is not strong. I don't blame them, and frankly, to be honest, I'm being fair here, I don't blame them for bringing this up. It's relevant, that in that sense I can see why they'd argue it, but I can rip it to shreds without being a lawyer. This doesn't make logical sense. Okay? Again, so this is one of the least outrageous things I've seen from the SEC, but it's still stupid. It's a really piss poor argument. But I've just seen such atrocious things from the SEC, things that really make your blood boil over the last little over 12 months, and this isn't doing that to me. I just think it's just poor evidence. This is not a secret. Like Ripple, you could go to their website and find of course they're trying to drive demand for their product. Their product is on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP. Yes, they're trying to grow their company, and that's a core product. Yes, of course. Is it just a secret that they're trying to increase adoption of their proprietary on-demand liquidity software? Is that actually a secret? Come on, guys. If this is the best you got, you're going to have a bad time. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.